This is Javier with the real Javier Novoa, just with a quick reminder from the classics, guys. You want the secret? You want the secret to changing your life? You want the actual secret to manifestation with no fluff, no program, there's no sequence you have to follow? I'm going to show you the secret, guys. Secret's right here. And this is from Awakened Imagination here by the great Neville Goddard. It's a classic book. He says every stage of man's progress is made by the conscious exercise of his imagination, matching his inner speech to his fulfilled desire. So you match your inner speech, guys, to your fulfilled desire. You do not entertain inner speech that's saying you don't have it, that's going against it. It's all about how you talk to yourself. We talked about this in the last video about robotic affirming. It is all about your inner speech, guys. He says because man does not perfectly match them, the results are uncertain while they might be perfectly certain. Because you're not telling yourself what you want to tell yourself, the results are uncertain, where they may be perfectly certain. All you have to do is make them certain within yourself by your inner speech. Persistent assumption of the wish fulfilled is the means of fulfilling the intention. Duh. You persistently go back to it. And Neville says in this chapter, he talks about a lot, the fact that it is not intensity of the imagination, rather it is frequency, meaning it's not necessarily that you have a deep meditative experience in the morning and you feel yourself right into your desire, and then for the rest of the day you're telling yourself you don't have it, asking why I don't have it. No, but rather you frequently throughout the day, if nothing else for a minute, go back to that desire. That's what solidifies it, guys. It's amazing what he says here. I want to continue this. Persistent assumption, guys. As we control our inner talking, matching it to our fulfilled desires, we can lay aside all other processes. I want to repeat this again. As we control our inner talking, matching it to our fulfilled desires, we can lay aside all other processes. So guess what, guys? No having to imagine it, no affirming, no state akin to sleep, no quote-unquote vibrating with it. That's all fun and it's good, and we teach on this channel, and there are various fun tools. But if you can just control your inner talking, I'm going to tell you how to do this, guys. Whenever you get a thought or a feeling, oh, I don't have it yet, it'll never come, it's taking too long, just say, nope, I now have it, I'm now it. Snap back into that. And don't worry about how you feel. It's just like working out a muscle, guys. Eventually you will feel it. That's how you do it, guys. You just keep saying, no, I do have that. You can lay aside all other processes. It becomes very easy, because it is very easy, guys. Then we simply act by clear imagination and intention. We imagine the wish fulfilled, and carry on our mental conversations from that premise. So we already assume that we have it, and then we just have conversations with ourselves, assuming that we have it, guys. Isn't it novel that we're not just using sense experience as our premises, but rather we're creating them? That is true power, guys. He says, through controlled inner talking from premises of fulfilled desire, seeming miracles are performed. This is the way all miracles are performed, and you just have to look at some of the testimonials of Joe Dispenza to see those miracles, guys. People regenerating body parts, people healing from illnesses. The future becomes the present and reveals itself in our inner speech. To be held by and this is very important, guys, to be held by the inner speech of fulfilled desire is to be safely anchored in life. You want security? You want safety, guys? This is safely anchored in life. Yeah, and like in hypnosis, we talk about a mental safe space that can basically take you through any suffering. Here it is, guys. To be held by the inner speech of fulfilled desire is to be safely anchored in life. And this chapter is the coin of heaven, and I often speak about the coin of heaven as having two sides, thought and speech. And thought, speech, and basically anything that you can do to snap yourself into being in that state already without having to rely on premises from the senses, that is imagination, guys. This is how to do it. It's how to be safely anchored in life. He says, our lives may seem to be broken by events, but they are never broken so long as we retain the inner speech of fulfilled desire. All happiness depends on the active, voluntary use of imagination to construct and inwardly affirm that we are what we want to be. Guys, think about this. This is always the case with any men or women of success. Any business person. It's like my good friend Shlomo Friedman talks about. Neville talks about the mustard seed and the biblical interpretation of the mustard seed and having faith the size of a mustard seed is not that it's small, but that it's sealed in. You're entombed. And that's also the symbolism of the tomb when Christ was in the tomb for 3 days. You seal yourself in your desire. You keep yourself in that. And by sealing yourself in that desire, your happiness is never broken, guys. This is what all successful people do. This is what people like Elon Musk do. All the great men of business, billionaires, whether consciously or not, they just take that idea, Richard Branson, they take that idea and they seal themselves in it, and they do not listen to anybody on the outer who says, oh, this is not possible. Construct and inwardly affirm that we are what we want to be. We must resolve ourselves to our ideals by consciously remembering our aim and identifying ourselves with it. You have to do it more and more frequently, guys. We fuse with our aims by frequently occupying, again, we talk about frequency, the feeling of our wish fulfilled. It's the frequency or the habitual occupancy that is the secret to success. The oftener we do it, the more natural it is. Fancy as symbols, continuous imagination fuses. So what he means is, everything you imagine is going to happen eventually, the vibration of that. So even if you say, oh, it would be nice to have $1 million, you're going to have the vibration of that sometime. It may be in another lifetime, maybe in this lifetime, but it's together, guys. It's fused. It's assembled, rather. But continuous imagination fuses. It makes that thing almost as if it's one. And it happens very quickly. It is possible to resolve every situation by the proper use of imagination. Every situation, guys. Our task is to get the right sentence, the one which implies that our desire is realized, and to fire the imagination with it. All this is intimately connected with the mystery of the still small voice. And he says, inner talking reveals the activities of imagination, activities which are the causes of the circumstances of life. And Jesus, or Paul said, he calls things not seen as though they were. So guys, this is the secret. And I will leave you with the Hermetica, where he says, speech is an image of mind, and mind is an image of God. This is the secret, guys.